I love being here because I do like the food. I love the people. Just they're so nice and so kind, and the tradition of Mexico, the architecture. I enjoy being here. So I love coming here. And I say this all the time, and it's no slight. And I would say in an interview with Canada, like if I had to go like to Canada or Mexico, I'm gonna pick Mexico every time. When WWE comes to Mexico on December 1st, it's going to be the only only one super show that we do all year. It's going to be the Raw brand and the SmackDown brand, so all the top stars are going to be there. It's going to be a packed, star-studded show. And on the show will be Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe. Ronda Rousey is going to make her debut in Mexico, which is, I think, a very, very cool deal. And something I'm most excited about is Rey Mysterio returns to Mexico City, so that's going to be awesome. I think the Mexican fans can expect an amazing show, the kind of entertainment that only WWE can provide. And I think you'll probably see some dream matches on this show because you have like Raw and SmackDown stars. They'll probably interact because they never do that, so that's something very special in itself. And I think if anyone deserves a show like this, a huge monstrous show like this, I think it's Mexico City, just because they're such great, passionate, enthusiastic wrestling fans. So I'm very happy that I'm going to be on the show as well. So I'm going to see if my brother can show up as well. I would love for Matt and Jeff, maybe the Hardy Boys, reunite for the night. It's funny because when we first started, we were fans of Lucha Libre, and being smaller guys ourselves, we thought we had to implement a more athletic style. So there was some Lucha Libre we were watching, and I gotta admit, the first time we saw the stuff Rey Mysterio and Psychosis were doing, Rey Mysterio, Juventud Guerrero, we're like, whoa, this is great. So we definitely implemented some of that into the things that we did. And then we were able to get to WWE, and we used the ladders and tables and chairs, you know, to make it a more exciting, a more athletic and acrobatic contest. So yeah, I definitely have to say we were inspired by some Lucha Libre from here in Mexico. I think more Mexican wrestlers will end up coming to WWE. And once again, as I said, I think WWE is growing and sprawling so rapidly across the globe. I think it's very important that we have many different performers from all different cultures, you know, and I think Mexico is just so legendary and historic for its wrestling roots. And I do think there's more. You know, a couple guys that I know and like that I think will eventually be in WWE are Pentagon and his brother, Ray Phoenix. I like those guys. I've wrestled with them, great guys, good athletes. I definitely think there's going to be an influx of Mexican wrestlers in WWE, especially as it grows off and if we plan on growing the business here in Central and Latin America. My guess is that WWE is in the midst of such a major global expansion. Right now, it just started on the WWE Network yesterday, as a matter of fact, the WWE UK brand. I would imagine, my guess is that in Mexico or like Central America or Latin America, I would almost guess there would be like some sort of WWE Latin America brand, is when it's all said and done. And I could almost see like maybe a performance center or a training facility coming to Mexico City. I think there's going to be like a Latin American brand. I could see something in Asia. You know, I just see him growing different markets and giving a bunch of young guys opportunities, building those stars, and then you always have stars that can go to Raw or SmackDown. And it continues the process of evolution as far as the business goes. I think the reason I have lasted as long as I did is because in my soul and in my heart, I'm a fan. So I love watching Lucha Libre. I love watching other wrestling still. Whenever I return to WWE TV, I would bet I'll be physical in the ring. If not, I'll certainly have some sort of on-air role. But I will eventually be back, and I think it will be an evolved Matt Hardy. I'll have like an evolved persona. I'm feeling good right now. I just need to take some time off. I was having some issues, some physical issues with my lower back and my hips. I've done a lot of things to kind of rehabilitate them and to try and just make them better and get them in the best possible shape that I can have them in. Right now, I've been, in my off time, filming a series for the WWE Network, which is called House Hardy, and it's going to feature myself and my family, kind of a throwback to more of the Broken Man Hardy days. So we spent 3 days in my house, and on Halloween week, we're going to have a House Hardy special air, which the diehard fans are going to love. It's so hilarious. As far as working in Mexico, I would imagine I will finish out my career with WWE. I actually got to come down to AAA when I was away from WWE and work down here some, which was a great fun experience for me, saying I worked for a legitimate Mexican promotion. But anytime WWE comes to Mexico, I want to be on the cards because I love wrestling here. So anytime they're here, I plan on being here. I feel very confident in saying I always love the Mexican fans. They've always been great, and they've always been so passionate towards me, and they show me so much love. Like, I couldn't do this without the fans, and the Mexican fans have been great. And I feel safe to say that Matt Hardy is going to be around for a while.